A big thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, and a big thanks to all of these donators of $5 or more. Brian D0313, Dead Zergling, Radio Raptor, and Vlad Tepish 3176. You all helped make these episodes possible. Howdy, insufferable gaming fans. Your old pal Rosser here, back with some more Horologium RPG. Last time we took Mr. Knight into Area 3 and did some side quests. There were a few side quests left, so I thought we'd start out by taking a look at what I could do, what I haven't been able to do, and the implications of that. I also got my level 100 skills, including Leaf Step, which is a teleport, which works a lot like the Imp's teleport, except this one is on a cooldown, so you can't spam it, but it is very useful to have. So, for quests, we had Condensing Raiden. The power cores from the drones was easy. The Lesser Marine Rifles. I honestly wasn't sure that they were even dropping, but I finally did just manage to find one of them after all the time I've been playing. I mean, you can see how much in this session alone I've been playing, and I've done some other ones before this. So we'll just have to take this one as we can. For the lesser stakes, this was mostly pretty easy. It took me a little while to find BK Whopper, but we'll return that to the chef. Light Bright Fight was mostly, a grind. But then I I learned a lot doing the Light Bright Fight side quests. For instance, for the glowworms that I had to collect samples from, I noticed that they pop out of little things at the bottom of the gardener fight, and then they climb up to the top of the area, and then they become bigger things, like these. And the explosive eggs, of course, I had to attack directly, and being a melee class, they damaged me. The ice eggs were the last thing I took off, but all in all, none of this was particularly difficult, once I got a high enough level. Shopping with Barbie. I have collected 30 impractical footwears, but I have only been able to find 18 piles of clothing. I have not found a single pile of clothing in the last 30 minutes I've been playing, and I've been looking everywhere. So we'll just have to take that one out later. But for now, we've got the Light Bright Fight quest, and that was 75% of the way. Didn't you know visiting a Zerg brothel was a bad idea? Oh, right, the samples. That's why. Might I suggest buying a few showers with my payment? Yeah, I'll get right on that, buddy. You have a nice day, mister. So, for all that, it was 75% of a level. Not huge. And this one brought us almost the rest of the way, but not quite. Yep. Stupid things humanity came in useful somehow, after all. The only finer meat I've heard of is from that spectral cattle, but can such a thing even exist? Okay, so for all that, we almost got a level. Now, it would have been probably a couple of levels if I'd done them at the lower end, but the problem is they take so long that you're probably not going to get them done until after you've killed so much other stuff that you're already at max level. So that could probably use a little bit of balance there. Aside from that, we've got other things to look at. Perhaps the quest for Zero, all that's going to do is give me a weapon that I can't even use unless I'm Casper. This one would probably hit me over the edge for the XP I need. But right now, we are going to look at some other things, because I have been informed that there are some more new quests. And that those quests belong to Lab Assistant Rosser. So we're going to head over there and take a look. Just rip and tear my way through these things. Easy enough at this stage in the game. Again, always satisfying to go through older areas and decimate everything. Very pleasant indeed. Alright. So this is something that I had been informed of. Lab Assistant Rosser's area has been redesigned so that it is easier to speak with Lab Assistant Rosser without being completely overwhelmed by enemies. This is a good thing. Now here's the question. How do I get over there? And in fact, can I even get over there? Oh, you know what? I have a theory now. I'll bet I can get there through the water passage. So now we're going to go around and take a look and see if this is the case. Here's hoping. We'll get these new quests, take a look at those, and then after that we can start heading into Area 4 and checking the knight's balance in that part of the game. Still, of course, using my Zergling Reaper item, weapon, because it is a huge help. Alright, as soon as I clear these out, we can go in there. Well, we could go in there immediately, but you know. And yes, that did bring us here. This is good. This is very good. This makes things a lot more convenient. So, let's have a talk. You've already heard that. And let's look at quests. So, we've done a gift for Zero, we've done errands for Rosser. So now we have Symbol of Lesser Greed, Minor Greed, and Petty Greed for areas 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Rosser has devised a very special method to converge the power of mods into an even stronger one. He is willing to share it with you, provided you bring him all the parts and 500 gold. So now we have quests that involve gold, which is good because, you know, you accumulate so much that you want to spend it on something. So let's take this quest and see what it is. 500 gold, a Zerafull soul, the power of laziness, which I'm sure I have seen before, and an overgrown spine. And all of this should be available in Area 1. So let's take a look at the other ones. Oh, and we already delivered the gold. So, let's see, what else we got? And Lesser Greed and Minor Greed. Yep. Even more mods into a stronger one for a price, that price being 1200 gold. Good, good. And for that we need Stamina of the Lambs. That's something I don't think I've ever picked up. Stone Strength and Fortitude of the Ugly. I've had lots of those sitting around. White Mage's Wisdom. This one's going to take a long time to finish up, I suspect. But, that's okay. And... oh. Yep. Ordering more crap off the internet. We've delivered the gold. And the final quest that we can take here. We'll see what all we need. I might have some of this stuff. Let's see. I don't have a Symbol of Minor Greed. I had cow bones, and I sold them. A Gardener's Endurance. Jim's Eye. I've got plenty of ridiculous dance moves. And I had Truck's Intellect, and I've got Slime's Strength. So, basically, all you have to do is kill a whole lot of mini-bosses to get an upgraded, what I'm assuming is an upgraded version of a stat-boosting item. So this is cool. I like this. We will, of course, get the gold favoring his right leg. Thanks, this will help with certain debts I have been accruing, in particular the medical expensive. Can't seem to stop twisting my left ankle. Very appropriate. I like it. Okay, so it is going to take a long time to accumulate this stuff, so... you know, I'm going to have to work on that over the week. So for now, why don't we just, you know, instead of worrying about that too much, we'll head on into Area 4 and see what we can do there. Of course, first we got to get to Area 4. Fortunately, there's a shortcut. And there it was. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to find those 2 piles of clothes for Barbie on the way. Nope, doesn't look like I found him. So we'll start with area 4-1, which is the Mountains of Really Bigness, I want to say. Well, let's see how I'm able to hold up here. Now, wow. Right off the bat, of course I was sitting at 99 XP. So we're not leveling up fast, but we're also not dying very quickly, so this is good. It seems like our friend the Knight is in fact durable enough to survive in Area 4. At least for a couple of seconds. So the drone got me. The drones are always the biggest threat when you start an area, it would seem. What's the solution to that? Well, gotta keep moving, of course. Also, it would probably help if I came over here and healed up a bit first. Thank you. So, our first trick is going to be to try to slog on over to... Yeah, your big brother got me good. But our first trick is going to be to slog on over to the... whatchamacallit? The teleporter. So we'll see whether or not I can do that, you know, going in at base levels, or if I'm gonna have to go up a few. Those guys are doing a lot of damage. Very quickly, I might add. 'Cause that's a tank. The tanks are always a problem, so you should probably... Holy cow. You know what? This might be trickier than I expected. A lot trickier. Or I'm gonna have to take it slowly, since I basically have no projectile action that I can use. I mean, I've got the wind blade, but it's got a long cooldown. So, last time I played a melee character, I found that it was easier to do my leveling up in 4-2 than it was to do it in 4-1, so maybe what I need to do is head down south there first and see if that does anything for us. Oh, there's another slime strength in case I wanted that. Plus, while we're down here, we can, you know, pick up some extra there's the extra clothes I need. They're all just sitting in a nice, neat row. Well, hell. I think that was enough. Or maybe it was more than I expected. Was it? Shopping with Barbie? Nope, that's enough. Well, next time I die, we can turn that quest in and see what kind of bonus we get from that. Which will be 1100 experience. So, about an eighth of a level now. Oh, wait. Another slime strength. Those seem to have a pretty high drop rate, because I've gotten a bunch of them. That's alright, because they're pretty good. I'm just, wobbling on down through here. I'll make it if I try. Ah, yeah, I need Truck's Intellect, which this guy could drop. And he did not drop it this time, but it was worth a shot. Also, yeah, okay, here's area 4-2. And I know roughly where the teleporter is here, and it's a lot easier to get to than 4-1. The Industrial Complex, I believe this area was called. Ah, yeah. Okay, gotta do something about the tank. And that something is to defeat it as quickly as possible. Well, I made a net gain of 6% of a level, so there's something to be said about that. Oh, time to turn in this quest. Turn in a quest, turn in a quest. Alright, so you left me waiting for this long and this is all you could find for me? I mean, this stuff is at least like 3 weeks old. Do you have any fashion sense at all? Well, whatever, deal's a deal, but I'm totally not going to be seen wearing these. Alright. Hey, as long as I get paid, lady. That's all I cares about. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I am actually going to try to get at least 1 or 2 of these quests filled out here for the... I don't know where to find the symbols of petty and minor greed, though, so that's going to be a trick. But what I'll do is I'll get some levels in Area 3 if I can, and then we will try to do the quests, and if I figure anything out, we'll cut back in, and then we'll see that. So give me a minute, and I will be working on that. Okay, we are back. Now, I didn't quite get everything we needed to turn in this quest, but we've got a lot of the stuff for the quests. Now, I should have realized it before, but when you need a symbol of petty greed, it's what you get from the previous quests, so these all kind of stack on top of each other. There has been a couple of tweaks since the first half of the video. Now the quest area here actually shows you which enemies drop the things that you need. So that's pretty interesting. I was finally able to get 3 of these lesser marine rifles for that 1-0 quest, so we're gonna pop that in first. That should be easy enough. And again, I won't get to use this weapon, but I'm just testing it out. Engineer Brian grabs all the parts from you, dropping them and scattering them across the floor shortly after. Quickly, he instructs a robotic assistant to flip you off while he picks them up and takes them to a back room. After much welding and cursing occur, Engineer Brian emerges with your new lightning gun. The robotic assistant continues to flip you off. Well, I am glad to see that kind of consistency. So let's take a look at this weapon. A lightning gun. 150 damage per second initially, building up to 449 per second. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that's going to be kind of like those probe guns. Now, I have a lot of these items that the enemies drop that boost your stats. We need 1 of each from Area 1 to get the first thing, and that includes Zerafool's Soul from Zerafool, Overgrown Spine, which, you know, drop all the time, and the Power of Laziness, which was the last holdout. You get that by beating Blue Man himself. And I believe that Dead Zergling said that he was going to up the boss drop rate slightly so that it would be a little easier. But let's just take these over and hand them in and see what kind of great weapon we get. We will, of course, go to the new area where Rosser abides by heading through the watery passage. Maybe pick up a couple of spare parts on the way, if we are able to do. It's a short trip. Right up here, and we will be there. Alright, so petty greed. Turn it in. You carefully hand the mods over to Rosser, only to see him hastily try to jam them all into a little box, hammering the parts that wouldn't quite fit further in. He closes the box, then plugs in about the shoddiest extension cord you have ever seen. Sometime later, he presents you with your symbol of petty greed. Very cool. So let's take a look at this item and see what wonders it brings to us. Well, it looks like it's 20 agility, 125 hit points, and 125 energy. So that is pretty damn good. But we're going to upgrade it further with the Area 2 parts, which are Stamina of the Lambs. Now that one took me a long time to get. And also we have the White Mage's Wisdom, we have Stone Strength, we have Marked Face's Fortitude of the Ugly. That'll give us 5 AC. You know, looking at these stats, we'll see whether it gives us just the stats that it would normally have, or if it stacks them. So let's take a look. We're looking at the petty symbol of greed. So we should have 7 AC tacked onto that, or 5 AC, and 25 stamina, and 30 wisdom. So let's see how it does. Rosser takes all your original symbol of petty greed and the other mods and puts them all in an empty potato chip bag. Carefully duct taping some of it, he throws it into a specialized looking microwave for 89 seconds. After letting the microwave beep a few times from ignoring it, he presents you with your all-new symbol of minor greed. Alright. And what are the stats on the symbol of minor greed? Well, it looks like we have 10 AC, 30 strength, 30 dex, 30 agility, stamina, wisdom, and some HP and energy. So it seems like it's going to be more than the sum of its parts, which is good for us. Very good for us. We'll just switch something out for that. Now, to get the next one, we're going to need some more stuff. We are going to need all of this stuff plus Jimmy's Eye, which has been the holdout. But it's got a lot of other stuff going into it, so I expect it will be a huge upgrade. As it is, we've already got a lot going on with this power-up. So, before we play around with that, I just wanted to show off a little weirdness that I found. I picked up this Firebat Berserker Flamethrower. So if you equip that, with a one-handed weapon, you think, okay, the flamethrower should run out of energy, but you can still attack with your minor weapon. But I think there might be a little bit of a glitch with it, which I'll show you, because I will certainly run out of flamethrower energy very quickly. You can see it going down. Alright, now that's it. I don't have enough energy for another shot, but I'm not attacking with my claw. I actually have to wait until the flamethrower gets the energy it needs, and then it appears to attack with the claw first, then the flamethrower. So that's a little bit of weirdness. I'm not sure if that's a limitation of the game engine or what, but I tried actually switching the position of these things in the slot, and it doesn't seem like it makes a huge bit of difference there. So, you have to, if you've got an energy weapon and a hand weapon, you have to wait for the energy weapon to get enough of a charge. Might as well try it out on Blue Man just for a baseline. Plus, I'd love to pick up some more Power of Laziness in case I want to make another one of these symbols. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. It do take a while. So with Night, I would not recommend using a flamethrower, all in all. I'm not even sure it's completely working correctly. But anyway, that's that particular little foible. I have been going instead with the two-handed sword and still the one-handed Area 3 Zergling Claw. Because I found that overall that gives the best balance of power and speed to really mow through the enemies. So, we'll head to Area 3, and I'll do a quick run, and I'll show you, why it's very difficult to get Jimmy's Eye. I mean, Jim's Eye. It is an item which, strangely enough, you get from someone who is not Jimmy. You get it specifically from not Jimmy. And you kind of wonder why Jim can't hang on to his own sensory organs. But there you have it. And, you're walking around trying to find him, and he could be anywhere in the Area 3 map. I don't know if he's supposed to spawn in one specific place, but he tends to wander around. Everyone else, you just kind of find him in the course of doing your regular quests. There's a lot of stuff that you ignore. Oh, there he is now. See? Not Jimmy. And once again, he has decided not to drop his eye. So, I've got some new skills from my skill list. One of those is Berserker Strength, which is very good because it triples your attack. I've also found that using the power tap gives you a pretty uniform effect all in all. And I'll show you what I mean. Like, if I target, it's supposed to take the enemy's strength and stamina and stuff and add it to your own. So if I target, well, if I have something that lives long enough to target, say I target this guy, and you'll notice that that gave me 15% increase in my melee, ranged, and splash damage. But I think it's just 15% across the board, because no matter what enemy I target with it, I could target a boss monster with it, and it's 15%. It was 13%, but then I upgraded it. So I think just upgrading that skill gives you the flat boost per use. Hop in, and you can see how easy it is to defeat the gardener now. I had to kill a lot of these guys, and you'll see that these little worms, they pop out of these structures, and they climb up here, and they're transformed into more difficult enemies. That is a neat touch that I did not notice before, but I've noticed it now. You know, having to kill so many enemies in this area. Ice eggs being the ones that took the longest for the quest I had turned in. And really, the gardener is just that easy now. So now that that's done, we'll take a walk, and we'll check out the balance for the Area 3, or Area 4 places. Of course, we have 4-1, which is insanely difficult for a melee character, and we've got 4-2, which I've found is a lot easier for a melee character to level up in. But it has gotten more difficult, and I'll show you why. And that is because the area has been redesigned a bit to be a little more maze-like, if you will. We'll just pop this open, and we're heading on down. Now before, this was like a big open area, but now we've got these chasms. These black slimes are very dangerous because they always explode and they take a good chunk of your health. So you got a few of them coming at you, you're gonna have problems. Now in this area you get this 15-second root spell, but that's why I bought a whole bunch of cure potions. I found that for the night you want big healing potions and a stack of cure potions every time you come into this area for leveling purposes. Because if not, you're going to get frozen in place and basically picked apart by these tanks. But you can see my XP is gradually going up. Got lots of... Well, I had lots of health potions, but I guess I've used them all, so this might be a short trip. Nonetheless, I'll do my best to show you what I've got here. These teleporting guys are kind of tricky. So, I find myself out of potions. Let's use the leech mode to see if I can get some health back. Before it's too late, we can of course use our defensive aura as well for a little bit of extra help. Cure potion to keep us moving quickly. Gotta move quickly in these situations. Now sometimes tanks spawn up on these walls here and you can't attack them, which is very dangerous in the long run. Picking up heal potions on the way is always a good idea. This area, the enemies mostly drop either regular or greater heal potions, which is where you need to be by this point in the game. And here is our teleporter, and we'll come back there after I finish touring the area. These electrical arcs do not hurt. Pick up an oak shield. Could be useful. Don't generally use the shields with the knight, though, because they tend to slow his attack speed down to nearly unusable levels. Oh, I think we're about... Yep. That does it for my health. We can grab some potions, and I'll finish filling out the map. Over to good old Ixion's potion shop, where we just buy a crap ton of greater healing potions. Now, it may seem like we've got a ton of money, but I hear that there's going to be a casino-type feature coming soon to the game, so that should give you more use for all of this money that you accumulate. And I do love casino features in games. That Zergling has the basic mechanics of it planned out. And eventually there will also be, Area 4 bosses going on. Which we have not seen yet. I feel like they aren't too far off. Get some towers blasted in, and evil, exploding slime monsters. Another thing I love with the knight is the leaf step, which we use with Q, and it's a... I might have shown that off already, but it's a teleport. You can basically dash to any place on the screen that you are able to have line of sight to. Very useful for getting to those enemies on the other sides of ledges and things, which we will be seeing as soon as we go to Area 4-1 here. Just keep chowing down them potions. They're cheap enough that you can just guzzle them down. But Lord help you if you run out. The mana potions, not so useful with the Mr. Knight. And let's just go zippity-doo over to here. So many enemies. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aw, I did not move fast enough. But we've seen Area 4-2, so now we can take a look at Area 4-1, which I feel is the more difficult of the areas, for a myriad of reasons. To do that, we'll first head to Area 3. We'll take one more trip around looking for not Jimmy. There he is. See, now he's spawning like crazy. But he still hasn't dropped his eye for me. I've probably killed him about a dozen times. Just doesn't want to pop that peeper. But once he does, we'll have another great item that'll help. So open this, and we head into the Forest of Pain and Suffering. Now, why is this area tough? Because they hit you with everything right off the bat. So we definitely want to take out the magic user as quickly as we can. Don't get trapped by these lightning-spewing buttholes. They will eat your health faster than anything. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Struggle through it, and there. Okay. See, that cannon, that mortar barrage could be coming from anywhere, and because there are so many ledges, you can't necessarily get to it to stop it in time. I can't chug the potions fast enough to keep up with the damage that these guys are doing. Very difficult. Alright, got that taken care of. Let's move up. Of course, the first step is just getting to the teleporter, which I've gotten to before, but man, it was a struggle. As you can see, we've got a wolf boss here that does a crap load of damage to everyone. We'll stick it in leech mode, see if that helps some. Hey, I got the wolf. Wolf dropped a shotgun. And some other stuff that we can worry about picking up later. Let's kill the orbs if we can. Or even if we can't. We'll try. I know there's a magician around here somewhere. I can see his little summoned buddies. Alright, now let's just flee. I believe I've missed the teleporter at some point here. Basically, I just want to fill out the map. I would say this is a bit excessive. Maybe just a little. It's basically just the luck of when things spawn. See, I just got gacked in no time flat on that one. I don't feel like there was a whole lot I could have done to improve that situation. I could try buffing up my stats a little bit. We've got just enough to pump a little bit into each of our base stats. It's gotten to the point where my skill tree is taking pretty much all of my points, but we're also close to, you know, topping out a few of the skills too. So here's where the teleporter is. It's in the upper right portion. Now, how about if we just run for it and see if we can find anything new here? Oh, these frickin' guys. Those magicians are killer. I have seen very few mini-bosses in this area, however. I wonder if I can get up there. I'll need to teleport. Or go the long way around. So, we come down here. And once again, we are in a nightmare situation, from which there is no escape because I have once again run out of potions. So you can see how fast the potions disappear around this area. I had a whole bunch of potions and now I don't have any. So what's the solution, you might ask? Well, a couple things we can do. We can start by buying more potions. Just right out the gate. And while I'm at it, just so that we can make some headway, I am going to buy an invulnerability potion, which will make us invulnerable for 15 seconds. It's got a pretty substantial cooldown, though, so you know, we got to use those 15 seconds to get as far as we can, just to see what we can see in the area. I will put these right here instead of my cure potion. And once more into the breach, my friends. So here we go. I'll try to get a little bit farther first. Let's head up here and see what's in the corner first, because we didn't get to take a look at that. Yes, here's where those cranky old trees were attacking us. And we can see them quite clearly. Orbs, naturally. So this, I suspect this is where the boss will be, but that's only my theory. I don't know for sure. But once there's a boss, that's probably where it'll be situated. Invulnerability potion, go. I'll try to take a couple of these out while I'm at it. Alright. There we go. Here's the question. How soon can I use one again? And will it be soon enough? We'll see if we get swamped. Because yeah, that square on the map right there looks like a great place for a boss. There's a big old boulder sitting around, and now I've teleported to the lower ledge, and from there we can just go right back around to the start of the area. And yeah, I just popped another invulnerability potion, so we can use this time to attack, attack, attack. So if I wanted to just get some levels built up, invulnerability potions would be one way to do it without having to respawn back at town quite as often. It's not an optimal solution, but you know, anytime you've got a melee character in a maze situation and you don't have ranged attacks really, I mean, I've got my Wind Blade, but that's on a very slow cooldown. Hey, it's a Mountain Marine rifle. And I'm dead. So, with that being said, we now have checked, you know, the remainder of the Area 3 quests, and we have checked the new Rosser's Mega Trinket quests, with the exception of the very last one, which was, what was it, Lesser Greed. For that, all we really need is a Jimmy's Eye, so we'll take one more look real quick, see if we can pop that eyeball on out of that socket, and, you know, aside from that, I think we're pretty much, you know, done until we get some more stuff that we can do. And now, of course, Jimmy is going to be located somewhere else. Because he never stays put. He's always moving around. Now, I fight these Tinkerballas all the time. They drop their ridiculous dance moves. So you can get ridiculous dance moves. It should also be noted that I have not found all of the Area 3 equipment yet. What I am missing from the Area 3 equipment is mostly just the gems for stat boosts. Like, I found one tarnished gold smoky quartz ring. My silver rings are in effect for the rest of the stuff. But that's okay, I know they exist because I've gotten one. But they're just, you know, a lower drop rate because they're supposed to be better items. So anyway, I think that's about all for this episode. If you want to play this map for yourself, of course, you can look up Horologium RPG on the Starcraft II arcade page. It is still in alpha, but it's getting closer to release all the time. And I would encourage you to check it out and give Dead Zergling your feedback. But until next time, this has been your old pal Rosser. And, as usual, take a drink.